All right, so you know how some artists just have that magnetic quality?
Hmm.
You hear a couple tracks and you're like, whoa, this person is going places.
Yeah.
We're talking about that kind of artist today. Aisto,
Yeah, he's really something special.
an independent hip-hop artist coming straight out of Portland.
But making waves far beyond the Pacific Northwest.
Exactly, and that's what we're going to get into today.
Yeah.
We're diving deep into Aisto's rise, and we've got this article.
Oh, yeah.
Aisto, Portland's hip-hop luminary shaping the global music scene.
Great article.
It's a really fascinating look at how he went from releasing his first single in Portland to the brink of international tours, all while staying true to his independent roots.
Yeah, and I think you know what makes this deep dive really interesting?
Yeah.
Is that Aisto's career really challenges a lot of those traditional assumptions about what it takes to make it in the music industry today.
For sure. So let's rewind back to February 2012.
Okay.
Aisto drops his debut single, Right Wristed, The Kitchen.
I remember hearing that one.
And you can just hear, that lyrical talent, even in those early stages.
Oh, absolutely. The potential was there from the start.
But, the path to success isn't always a straight line.
Right. Definitely not.
His first mixtape, PSA, short for Public Service Announcement, came out in July of that same year.
Yeah, that was a learning experience for sure.
And, it didn't exactly set the charts on fire.
Mixtapes are kind of like, a stepping stone. They're
Right.
like a way to build hype and experiment.
Totally. But
Yeah.
Aisto, he's not one to give up easily.
No way.
Just a year later, he wins this competition in Seattle.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
Beats out 34 other artists at the Coast 2 Coast Magazine NW Industry Mixer.
That's a tough competition.
Huge confidence boost.
Oh, absolutely. That kind of win can really propel you forward.
Right. But, that early mixtape that didn't quite take off,
Right.
that's just as important to his story.
I think so, too.
It shows that even for someone as talented as Aisto, there's a learning curve. You got to figure out what works,
Yeah,
what resonates with listeners. It takes time and experimentation.
couldn't agree more.
And, he takes that experience, channels it into his breakthrough moment.
Yeah.
Summer 2013, the release of Royal Treatment.
Royal treat.
This mixtape, hosted by DJ Fatboy,
Oh, wow.
was pretty well known in the Northwest.
Big name.
Features collaborations with other artists like J Diggs, Mikey Vegas, Fleaboy Mo.
Now, that's what I'm talking about. That's smart.
Right, and this is where we really start to see that strategic mind at work.
Total.
Royal Treatment wasn't just about showcasing his skills. It was about building relationships, expanding his network, tapping into an existing fan base.
Exactly. You got to play the game.
Right.
Collaborate, make connections.
Sure, and it definitely solidified his reputation in the Northwest hip-hop scene.
Oh, yeah. He was on the map for sure.
But then, just a year later, he makes this move that really caught my eye.
Oh, what's that?
He releases not one,
Uh-huh.
but two projects simultaneously.
Whoa, hold on.
Royal Treatment 2 and Trappy Gilmore.
He doubled down.
Talk about bold.
I mean, most up-and-coming artists would be riding the wave of one successful release.
Right.
But Aisto understood something crucial about this industry.
What's that?
You got to be constantly pushing boundaries to stay ahead of the curve.
It was like a statement.
Yeah. What was it saying?
This is an artist who's serious, who's here to stay, who's not afraid to take risks.
And did it work?
Oh yeah, it definitely got noticed.
By who?
Atlantic Records.
Whoa, the big leagues.
Right.
That's huge for an independent artist.
And you think he would have jumped at the chance, right?
I mean, that's the dream for a lot of artists.
You would think so.
Yeah, to get that kind of attention, that validation.
But that's not what happened.
You didn't sign with them.
Not.
No.
Well, that's where things get really interesting.
All right, I'm all ears.
And it really shows the depth of Aisto's vision.
Okay, I'm intrigued.
He turned down the deal.
He
Turned it down.
Wow, that's a big decision.
It might seem crazy to some,
Yeah, I mean, Atlantic Records.
Right.
That's a huge opportunity.
but there were some good reasons behind it.
Okay, I'm listening.
Reasons that speak to his artistic integrity
Uh-huh.
and his understanding of the music industry in the digital age.
Makes sense. The industry was changing rapidly back then. You got to remember, this was 2014.
Yeah.
The music industry was like undergoing this major shift.
Right.
Streaming services, like Spotify and Apple Music, they were starting to gain real traction.
Yeah.
And artists were realizing they could build these successful careers without needing a major label to back them.
It was a whole new game.
Totally. And for an artist like Asto, who clearly values that creative control, signing with a label, it could have felt like a step backward. It would have meant, you know, giving up a certain amount of ownership over his music, his brand, his vision.
Yeah, you don't want to be put in a box.
Exactly.
Especially when you're building something unique.
Right. And it's not like he needed the financial backing of a label at that point.
True.
He was already building a solid following.
Right.
Selling albums, booking shows.
Yeah. By mid-2015, he had independently sold over 7,200 copies of Royal Treatment 2 and Trappy Gilmore combined.
Wow, that's impressive.
That's huge for an independent artist.
Yeah, that's a testament to the power of hustle.
Right.
And knowing your audience.
He was connecting directly with fans.
Yeah.
And the fact that he didn't jump at the first offer shows a certain level of confidence in his own path. He's willing to bet on himself.
He's betting on his city, too. I mean, he brought Too Short, J Diggs, G Herbo, all these big names to perform in Portland. That's not just about putting on a show.
Right.
It's about building up the local music scene.
It's about putting Portland on the map. He's saying, hey, there's talent here, and you don't have to leave home to make it big. That resonates with local artists, fans, everyone.
And that kind of loyalty seems to pay off. I'm looking at these numbers here. And even without a major label deal.
Selling that many physical copies independently is a statement. It means he's cultivated a dedicated fan base, people who are invested in his music, and that's the foundation of a sustainable career.
So he's building this loyal fan base, staying independent, and then he drops the TGO EP with that catchy single, Do It All, which just explodes during his movie tour. Talk about momentum.
Yeah.
And look at the names he's touring with. Cool John, Pilo, Neff the Pharaoh, HBK Skipper. He's leveling up, right?
He's not just sharing the stage, he's learning from the best.
Yeah.
These are established artists with their own dedicated fan bases. It's like a crash course in touring, performing, connecting with a larger audience. And you can see the results.
Right, because it's not just about being a good rapper in the studio. It's about that live performance, that energy, that connection with the crowd. And from what I've read, people rave about his shows. Have you seen any footage?
You know, I actually stumbled across a video of him performing Do It All during the movie tour. And the energy is electric. He's clearly in his element, commanding the stage. And the crowd is eating it up.
I'm adding that to my watch list right now. It's one thing to read about it, but seeing it is another level. Okay, so fast forward to 2024, and things are getting even more interesting. New singles are dropping, What's Poppin', Flacco, and those streaming numbers are starting to climb.
And you can't overlook the album art. It's bold, colorful. It instantly grabs your attention. In a world where people are scrolling through endless feeds, that visual impact is key. He's making sure his music stands out.
And then there's this buzz about the UK. His streaming numbers are going crazy over there, right? Like potentially leading to a tour in spring 2025. We're talking $20,000 per show. That's a whole new level of reach.
That's a global market now. And this isn't just about hitting a certain number of streams. It's about building a fan base across borders. He's tapping into a whole new audience, a whole new market. And it's not just the UK. There's even talk of potential stadium concerts in Africa.
Oh, stadium concerts in Africa. Okay, this is getting really exciting.
Oh, yeah.
That's a whole different level of recognition, right? What do you think is driving that kind of interest so far away from his home base?
Well, it's a testament to the power of music, to transcend borders and connect with people at a universal level. But it's also about strategy.
Yeah.
Asto sounds his message. It's clearly resonating with a diverse audience. And with the rise of streaming services, geographical boundaries are becoming less and less relevant.
So it's not just luck, it's a combination of talent, timing, and understanding how to leverage the tools available. I'm starting to see why you said this is more than just an artist. It's a masterclass in building a career.
Exactly. And there's another layer to this.
Yeah.
We haven't even touched on yet. His role as a mentor.
Okay, mentor.
Remember Athena, the singer from Portland?
Yeah.
Asto is working with her, and her track, Queen of the Earth, has gone viral in Africa.
Oh, wow, I hadn't connected those dots.
Yeah.
So not only is he making moves globally, but he's bringing others along with him. That's pretty incredible. It's not just about personal success, it's about lifting others up.
It speaks volumes about his character. He's using his platform to give a voice to emerging artists, to help them break through and reach a wider audience. That kind of generosity is rare. especially in such a competitive industry.
It makes you wonder, is this something he's always done, even before the spotlight was on him? Was supporting his community always part of the plan?
Well, it's hard to say for sure, but looking at how he's built his career, it seems like a natural progression. He understands the importance of a strong local scene, of collaboration, of giving back. And it all comes full circle with that WTF Portland News Instagram account.
Oh, right, with over 113,000 followers. I was curious about that. It's not just a typical artist account, right? What's he doing with it?
It's more than just self-promotion. He's using it to shine a light on local events, businesses, artists, creating a hub for the Portland community. It's a brilliant way to leverage his reach and give back to the city. That helps launch his career.
And it's smart business, too. He's building a brand that goes beyond the music. It's about authenticity, community, and a genuine connection with his audience. That's valuable, especially in today's world.
It's almost like he's creating a movement. He's not just asking fans to listen to his music. He's inviting them to be part of something bigger. And that's a powerful way to build loyalty and engagement.
Speaking of family, we can't forget about Delabot, his son, who's also an artist. I love that his first song was called A's on My Report Card.
Oh, wow.
It's so endearing, and it shows that music has always been a part of their lives.
It's fascinating to see how he's nurturing Delabot's career. He's even said he won't let him sign any deals unless he's involved, which is a testament to his commitment. As a father and mentor, he wants to protect his son from the pitfalls of the industry and guide him towards a sustainable path.
That's amazing. It's like a family legacy in the making. Imagine the collaborations we could see in the future. It's got that heartwarming appeal, but also the potential for some really exciting musical partnerships.
The potential is huge, and it speaks to a broader trend in the industry. Family dynasties are becoming increasingly common. Think about the Jacksons, the Osmonds, the Carters. It's a fascinating dynamic, and it often leads to really interesting collaborations.
I'm already picturing it. A father-son tour, maybe even a joint album. The possibilities are endless. And remember, Delabot isn't a newcomer to music. He's been at it since he was a kid. That early exposure, combined with Aisto's guidance, could be a recipe for something special.
It's clear that talent runs in the family. And with Aisto's experience and connections, Delabot is entering the industry with a significant advantage. He's got a built-in support system, a mentor who understands the business, and a name that already carries weight.
Okay, so we've covered Aisto's independent grind, his strategic moves, his growing international presence, and his commitment to his community and family. But here's where I want to dig a little deeper. This isn't just about one artist's success story, right? Aisto's story feels like it's saying something bigger, about the music industry itself, like how it's changing, how artists are finding success in ways that we haven't maybe seen before. What are your thoughts on that?
I think you're spot on. Aisto is a prime example of how the music industry is evolving. He's bypassed the traditional gatekeepers, built his own fan base, and created a global brand without a major label deal.
It's like the old rules don't apply anymore, right? You don't need to wait for someone to discover you. You can create your own opportunities, connect directly with fans, and build a career on your own terms.
Exactly. And technology has played a huge role in this shift. Social media, streaming services, these are all tools that allow artists to reach a global audience without relying on traditional media or distribution channels.
And it feels like Aisto is really smart about how he uses these tools. It's not just about posting random stuff. It's about building a community, engaging with fans, and using those platforms strategically to promote his music and his message.
It's a prime example of how artists can take control of their own narratives. He's not waiting for someone else to tell his story. He's crafting it himself. And that level of authenticity resonates with fans.
So what does all of this mean for someone like you, who's clearly passionate about music and the artists who make it? What can we learn from Aisto's journey?
I think his story is a powerful reminder that anything is possible if you have the talent, the dedication, and a willingness to hustle. You can achieve your goals, even in a challenging industry like music. But it's also a call to action for music lovers.
A call to action? What do you mean by that?
We have more access to music than ever before. Streaming services, social media, online platforms, it's easy to get overwhelmed. But Aisto's story reminds us to be more intentional about the music we consume, to support the artists who are pushing boundaries and creating something unique.
So don't just settle for what's being force-fed to you by algorithms or playlists. Go out there and explore, discover new artists, support their work, and be a part of this exciting new wave in music. It's a win-win for everyone.
Exactly. And you never know, you might just stumble upon the next Asto, an artist who's about to take the world by storm.
Well, I know I'm going to be keeping my eyes and ears open. Thanks for guiding us through this deep dive today. It's been an inspiring journey.
It's been a pleasure. And remember, the next big discovery might be just around the corner. Happy listening.